All right, Maroon Devils. We're back here with the Maroon Devil Network. First pitch of the game, called strike for Charlie Collins on the mound against the Robbinsville Black Knights. I don't know what his first name is. I just got an initial, and it's Hedden. It moves the count to 1-1 with the ball taken looking like it might have been a little inside. All right. The 1-1 pitch swung through for a count of 1-2 to Mr. Hedden. Ooh, too close to take right there on 2 strikes if you're asking me, but nobody did, so we're running the count to 2-2. Swung through for strike 3, and that's out 1. We're not throwing it around today apparently. A little windy. We don't want to play chase. Charlie, first pitch, fouled straight back by Mr. Phillips. Again, I don't have first names. I just got first initials, and that's C. Phillips. Fouled the first one straight back. Mr. Phillips plays center field for the Black Knights. And we get a liner over the shortstop to center field, and it's picked up clean, and Cooper Hyatt delivers that into the infield. I was just reminded by his mother that it is not indeed Connor Hyatt. It is Cooper Hyatt that did that. So I messed up a couple weeks ago and ain't lived it down yet, and that's the way it goes. All right, so 0-0 with 1 out and a man on first. Looking for a ground ball in the middle of the infield if we can get it to retire the side with a double play, we hope. Fly ball into left center. Going back on it. Cam's got a – yep. Cam tracked it down, getting it in quick. So we got 2 outs. But the ball is well hit by Buchanan. Brings up Patterson with 2 outs here in the top of 1. Charlie delivers a little low bleeder over the first baseman's head, and he's going to hang tight. So we got runners on first and second with 2 outs for that one. Goes in there like it was beating the ground down, but it was just a little old nubber over first base. But that's enough to do the work. Got runners on first and second and 2 outs for Mr. Orr. First pitch fouled off. 2 outs right here, so everybody's going to be in motion. Left-hander. Ball a little bit low. Good job by Carter sliding over there, knocking that down, checking base runners, and nobody advanced. All right. 1 pitch away right here. Froze him up, growling the strike. But I have a feeling that was not very well received by the home plate ump. And I'm not real sure what his reaction is going to be, but I don't think Mr. Orr's response was well received by the umpire when he got froze up right there looking for a called strike 3. Didn't appreciate it, but that will end the top of 1 with the Maroon Devils giving up no score. And now we'll be back in a few minutes to watch the Devils bat their half of the first. All right, Maroon Devils, we are waiting on the Black Knights to get ready right here. Still throwing the ball around the infield and stuff. Got through the first half of the inning with nobody hurt. And Gabe Lillard's going to lead us off, as he usually does. Gabe's number 3 and plays first base for us. That's no big deal. We're where we need to be. All right, we're figuring this thing out. Oop, sailed on him. As you can probably tell by listening to my mic, the wind is more than a little bit active out here today. Whoa, ball tailing pretty hard. One thing and another, it's right in my face sitting up here in this stand, so it's blowing across the field from right to left field. And getting ready to get the ball thrown down. Nope, here it comes right now. The middle infield had moved, and I was a pitch ahead. All right, Gabe Lillard up to start off the Maroon Devils in this half of the inning. The inside, taking for ball one. Outside for ball two. Playing a little army right here, left, right, left, right. Take a little look at it. Right here 2-0, and I didn't see anything and led me to believe that you got to be sitting on anything, but he came unglued on that one, so it runs the count to 2-1. A little bit ahead and over the top of it. Runs count to 2-1 strike in the top of the first. Or excuse me, bottom of the first. And ball hit hard into left field, into the gap, and that's going to be extra bases for Gabe Lillard to start the ball game. And he's cruising in, standing up to second base. Good job by Gabe. That's the way you want to lead innings and games off. All right, brings up Cameron Blankenship. Gabe can get a little more. Shortstop's behind him. To the plate, and it's up and in, taken for ball one. Big gaps in the outfield. Really playing the lines right here. Doesn't look like a real shift this way to take away the left side instead of the right. I just don't know about positioning, but it looks like a lot of gap in left center field. Called strike, running the count to 1-1. Second on top of the bag. To the plate. Oh. Bunted right out in front of the plate. Catcher covers it. Throws him out at first, but we got a runner on third. So Cam moved him around. And brings up Carson Taylor. I think they're going to discuss right here if that was a foul ball, and it was. So we're right back at the start. Cam did the right thing. He took off running like he's supposed to. And the count, I think, will be 1-2 strikes when we come back in. So the count's 1-2 strikes to Cameron Blankenship. Runner on second base. Second baseman covering. Big old hole on the right-hand side of the infield. Dead ball. Hit by pitch. For Cam. We can live with that. No harm, no foul. Carson Taylor up now. Carson's playing right field for us today, but he plays lots of different places, pitches. all over the place. Good athlete, been a great player for us for a few years right now, and going to be ashamed to have to wave goodbye to him, but he's done a great job for us. Again, second on top. Good lead at first, playing deep over there. Taking ball low for ball one of this at bat. Runners on first and second, nobody out, and a foul ball. Runs count to 1-1. And this wind is ridiculous. I think it's safe to say we're not going to get any balls out of here in right field today, the way the wind's blowing. It's going to be really tough. Foul ball for strike two, so the count's going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes. Don't need but 1 though, so we'll be all right. Stand in there and battle. But it puts you in a position where you've got to hit a pitcher's pitch. You've got to be real protective of the plate, because I don't mean this to be in any way degrading. But you don't want to leave it in the umpire's hands. You got your bat up there for a reason, so anything close, we want to put our bat on it right here and battle off tough pitches and then see if we can't extend the inning with no outs. And that'll do it. Got a base hit into right field, and it's going to be extra bases. Maybe, okay. Well, we have runners on second, third at the end of that, and a RBI for Mr. Carson Taylor. And that will score Gabe Lillard for the Devils' first run of the inning and the game. And that'll bring up Mr. Carter Hayes. Carter's inheriting no outs and runners on second and third. And we're going to see what happens from here. Call strike. That's all right, Carter. You get 3 of them. Just stand up there and battle. No balls and 1 strike. And let's see how they're going to work us there in the middle. They're not going to pay much attention to the working in the middle, and that was a ball. Looked like it was out from here, so runs count to 1-1. Again, ducks on a pond right here. When you get your 4-hitter up with runners on second and third, you're hoping to get some business done. It runs to count 2 balls and a strike. Ball taken inside, run a count to 3-1. See what Carter's approach is right here. I'm sure he's looking for something straight in the strike zone to drive. Like I say, there's, ducks on right here. You want to be a greedy hitter trying to get these RBIs. Might not have been a pitch to swing at on 3-1, but I respect the effort. He's trying to do his job right there. Runs to count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ball inside for ball 4. Carter Hayes draws a base on balls and fills up the base paths. So we got runners on first, second, and third for our 5-hitter, Will Jenkins, who's done a great job this year of just making sure that he moves batters around. Doing a good job when he comes up right here with runners in scoring position and logging a few RBIs, and he slowly worked his way up the batting order, and he's doing a good job for us. Not real sure who that was that was sent in to run bases. I'll get a number in a minute and report that, and I'm sorry that I missed it, but I've had to put my lineup card up because I didn't want to chase it across the parking lot here. And a little nubber got through right there into the shortstop. Wasn't handled with the infield in, and we were able to get one across. So everybody's safe, and Will Jenkins does his job. and gets him an RBI. I would probably score that as a sacrifice with an RBI because it probably should have been fielded, but you know what? We'll take what we can get, and the bases are still loaded for Charlie Collins. Coming up with an opportunity to help himself, and the ball is taken low. Base is still loaded. Devils up 2-0. Still the bottom of 1. Good secondaries down the base paths here. And I believe that one was taken for a ball high. Yep. 2 balls and a strike. Or 2 balls and no strikes to Charlie. Taking a strike. And that's early in the ball game really for infield in for a belly play. You know, you might be willing to trade a double play for a run with a ball hit into the middle infield. Ball taken. 3 balls and a strike. And nowhere to put him. Going to be forced to challenge right here. Charlie swung through that one for a 3-2 count. Trying to hit that one maybe up and bust my windshield. And I'll shorten up right here and see if we can't get one in play and just help ourselves. Foul ball, keeping himself alive right there. Good job. As we talked about earlier, that's just one thing that you got to do. You got to keep yourself alive right here and not leave it in the umpire's hands because you never know what's going to happen with that. And that's why you go up there with a bat in your hands. It's taken for ball 4. And an RBI for Charlie. And the bases are still loaded. And there's still nobody out. And Ronnie Griggs, the DH, is coming up. And base runner this time is number 10, it looks like. Or 18, maybe. My old eyes betray me because 10's the one batting, so it ain't that. So number 10, Ronnie Griggs up batting, DHing today. Ronnie pitches for us and does a couple different things. And he just did his job. Hit the ball through the infield and is going to end up getting 2 RBIs, it looks like, and they have thrown them a double. And that's a great job by Ronnie. That's 2 RBIs for Ronnie Griggs. And that's a good way to go into this inning. So we got runners right now at second and third. Nobody out for Reese Winchester. And the good guys are up 5-0. And the middle's back now for the Black Knights. And a ball taken low. And left that one outside for a 2 balls and no strikes count. Ball taken low for a 3 balls and no strike count. And I don't know what coaches got Reese thinking about right here. But for me, this is I don't care if it comes over there and it looks like it levitates on the tee, you are not swinging at it. And so they get me over fastballs taken for a strike to run the count of 3-1. And now you're just looking to see if you can't get another one of those and somewhere to drive it and maybe get you 2 RBIs. Anytime your 8-hole comes up and you have an opportunity for RBIs and you're able to collect them, that's always a bonus. And that's a ball through. And it should be a possibility of 2 RBIs, but it's not. We held him up at third. Just now we have first and third. but we got 1 RBI out of it on a good piece of hitting by Reese Winchester on 3-1. So that is a single and an RBI to run the score to 6-0. And Lawson Woodard, the number 9 hitter, is up with runners in first and third. And a 6-0 Good Guys lead. And we're running. And we got a fly ball in the left that's going to go down. And that will be an RBI. We'll score Ronnie Griggs for a single with an RBI right there for Lawson Woodard, just like you drew it up. And now we got runners on first and second base and nobody out. Batted around with nobody out. Top of the order's back up. Gabe Lillard. I think that we take a hit by pitch right there and we're called back because we were not judged to have done enough to dodge it. I think a deeper dive into the rule book might change somebody's mind, but it won't help them if they won't open it. So we have a 1-1 count. No, excuse me, 2 balls and no strikes for Gabe. And Gabe has a fly ball in the left, and the left fielder sinking back on it, and he ain't going to get it. We two-hopped the fence right there, and oh, my goodness. Little base running faux pas right there, but no harm, no foul-ish. 1 base and an RBI for Gabe as he goes into left again, but we did score 1 of the 2 runs right there. Running the score to 8-0, and Lawson Woodard's now on second. It's got runners on first and second, and Nary Soul is out. And it looks like time for a pitching change, Coach Eisenhower and the Black Knights. Just kind of go into this from coaching point. I know that they're getting ready to see a pitching change right here, so we're getting ready to go off. But to define what going halfway on a fly ball on first base means is halfway means as far as you can go and get back if he catches it. So he could have readily been all the way past second base right there, and I'm sure that's what Coach Mateeth's talking to him about right there, about how to adjust that to where he'd have an opportunity to score possibly on a hit like that. But we're getting ready to have a pitching change, and so we'll get back to you in just a few minutes. All right, folks, we're back. 8-0 Maroon Devil lead. Runners on first and second, and the number 2 hitter's up for the second time in the first, which is always good to say when it's us batting. Cam Blankenship's up with an 0-0 count, takes ball 1. And that'll be ball 2. That pitcher's mound's lonely sometimes. Got a cap shot right down the baseline off the third baseman's glove, and we're running. We got runners on on second and third, and that'll be an RBI for Cam Blankenship, who did a great job of continuing to run and see it through. And that'll be a double with an RBI for Cam, and that scored Lawson Woodard and got Gabe Lillard all the way around third base for our 3-hitter, Carson Taylor. First pitch to Carson. Right down Main Street for a called strike 1. One ball and 1 strike now to Carson. Runners on second and third again, nobody out. And we just got a high fly ball into right field. They're going back on it, and they're not going to get it. And that should score 2, and it should get Carson into second base clean. No need in stretching that and making the first or the last out of the inning into third base. That's T-ball rules. You don't get thrown out at third for the first out of the inning. So that'll be 2 RBIs for Carson Taylor. And a hard hit ball into the right side. That's what we like to see. It means he's on it. And we got us a double. Brings up Carter Hayes. And a fly ball to center field caught for the first out of the inning, but it's a well hit ball. And a tag up, move up for Carson Taylor. And that'll bring up Will Jenkins with a chance to do some damage with Carson Taylor on third base. Last time that Will came up, he got him a sacrifice and an RBI. Should have been a sack with an RBI, but the play was not made, but I'd rather score it as that. And a ball taken high. And we got a foul ball off the right-hand side. Looked like an off-speed pitch. It's really hard to tell what kind of movement we're getting on anything from this vantage point. And we've got a called balk that's going to bring in Carson and clear the bases and run the score to 12-0 for the Maroon Devils. And Will Jenkins has got a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Well hit ball down the right-hand side, going to go foul. All right, so Will's up there battling. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Will Jenkins. Little soft liner over. Second base, it finds the ground for a single for Will Jenkins. Tears the ground up in the books. That's a single. Brings up Charlie Collins with a chance to help himself. Anytime you're a pitcher and you can get 12 in the top of the first, you got to like that. It gives you a little something to work off of. Seen times I'd settled for 2 in the top of the first. I'll definitely take 12. 1 out for the Maroon Devils. Runner on first base. Charlie Collins up. And he hits the ball hard through the middle of the infield, and we're going to have runners on first and second with 1 out. And brings up Ronnie Griggs, who hit the ball hard last time. Runners on first and second, 1 out, 12-0. One ball, no strikes. Taken high to Mr. Griggs, who hit the ball hard into left last time. Wouldn't mind to see that again. Still up. 2 balls and a strike. There have not been any high called strikes today. either side. Ground ball up the middle, and it's through. And Will's been waved through, and they're throwing at him at the plate, and not going to get him. It's not going to be in time, which moves up a runner to second base. Ronnie Griggs wisely moves on up. Wisely moves on up on the throw, and we scored Will Jenkins from second base, which brings Charlie Collins up to, now we got runners on second, third. And that brings up Reese Winchester for the second time this inning. Maroon Devils up 13-0. And little curveball taken for strike one. And don't blame him. That's not what you want on an 0-0 count. You're not sitting on curveball. So you don't swing at that. Had a little bit outside, looks like. Catcher reached out to get it and runs the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. Ball taken inside, runs the count to 2 balls and a strike to Reese, who had a single and an RBI last time through the left-hand side, if I'm not mistaken. Pass ball, and we're not going to move up. That's the way you do business right now whenever, you know, Groundhog Day in, and I'm not trying to be ugly here, but you don't run bases on pass balls and things like that. That's just unwritten rules, a little bit of baseball etiquette when you don't treat people that way. So it's 3 balls and a strike, and when we hit the ball, we'll score, but we're not going to. And we got a hard shot in the left field, and it is picked up clean, but we're going to get 2 RBIs out of it. And we're being kind over there and holding him up at first. Mike could have moved up. Wasn't worth doing. Great job right there by Reese. Picking up an RBI right there. Charlie Collins. Ronnie Griggs is run. And that's a great job. Brings up Lawson Woodard, who had a single and an RBI last time with a runner on first base and 1 out. Still in the top of the first. And this is the 9-hitter. Second time around. So our 9-hitter pops the ball up into the no man's land, and it's going to find the ground. Sometimes things just go your way, and Lawson has a single. And we have runners on first and second, and still nobody out. And the Maroon Devils leadoff batter, Gabe Lillard, is coming back up to the plate to bat for the 3rd time this inning. Ball hit the right side of the infield. Second baseman comes up, fires it, and the ball is. All right, let's see if we get caught on the throwback. Nope, safe, because we were being kind. But that's good ball about going station to station by Coach right there. But I understand also that you're going station to station right now. That's just the point. Station to station. And that brings up Cameron Blankenship with the bases loaded and 1 out, and the Maroon Devils with a 15-0 lead. And that ball's taken high. That ball taken inside and up. Runs count to 2 balls and no strikes. Taken high. That'll be 3 balls and no strikes. And there is, I'm assuming Coach is probably giving him the green light right here, just letting us swing away with the score like it is and where it is, and just to kind of see what happens. And that was ball 4. So we got a base on balls. And that will put another run across from Maroon Devils and run the score to 16-0. And we're going to have Carson Taylor up. And another pitching change, it looks like. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Big first half of the bottom of the first from the Maroon Devils with 1 out, 16-0 lead. Give this pitcher a chance to get caught up, and we'll be right back with you. All right, and we're back. Bottom of 1, 16-0 Maroon Devils, 1 out. The bases are loaded for Carson Taylor, who is 2 for 2 with 2 doubles in this inning. And that was a little bit inside or taken. You know, but this is one thing that you can be assured of, folks. When the call to strike, now right on cue, the strike zone is going to grow when you get into a position like this. The strike zone is going to grow. So don't be surprised when you see some of this and you're looking at it and you're like, good gracious. And you may see it in either direction. But that ball was taken high, and that told me that he's going to give you something down, but he ain't going to give you a thing up. Because the last one about bounced and got a called strike, and then this one right here was a little bit high. And we just got a ball striped into center field, and it is over his head. So it looks like he may be 3 for 3 with 3 doubles this inning. And 2 RBIs. That's a pretty good stat line for a game this inning. Brings up Carter Hayes. Taking the ball outside. Just counting my score up, making sure that I was right. I've got it real high tech over here. You can ask any guy. Oh, well hit ball into center field right at him. And he throws the ball in, nobody tagged. Again, we're being pretty nice. And that's another F8 for Carter, who is 1 for 3 this inning. But he struck the ball hard that time and took a base on, he is 0 for 2 with a base on balls, but he's hit the ball hard twice, just hit it where they're standing. And that's just the way it works out sometimes. But that's out 2 and brings up Will Jenkins with runners on second and third. And again, you ain't going to get a thing high. If it's at the letters, ain't no way. You ain't getting it. So if they're paying attention down there, they'll file that away. Still, nothing high. Not going to get anything up in the strike zone. So that runs count to 2 balls and no strikes. Maroon Devils have 2 outs in the bottom of 1. And that'll be 3 balls and no strikes. Runners on second and third. And that's 4 balls. That was a little bit outside. So Will gets a base on balls, and now we have the bases loaded again for Charlie Collins. who was the pitcher of record whenever we started this inning, and I'm not sure what coach is going to do, how many pitches he's going to let him pitch. But Charlie's up here right now with a chance to swing at it. And a foul ball off to the right-hand side. That ball Carter hit a minute ago, folks. For the record, we were being kind and we didn't tag up, but we could have. And that would have been an average saver because that would have been a sacrifice then, and it's like a walk doesn't even count. So that's one of those I may footnote if I was doing his batting average, just FYI. Not trying to be ugly, but, we could have scored on that, And pass ball, and we're not going to move up. So Charlie's sitting on a 1-ball-and-2-strike count. Foul ball straight back to Charlie, right off the concession stand. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Foul ball onto the head up. Just about drilled our catcher. And I'm not sure who it is today. It looks like it might be Addison. I'm not sure. Ooh, ball off a catcher's glove and into the middle of the center mass on the official. Runs the ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Charlie a little ahead of that one. About broke his back, but he stayed alive. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on that foul ball. All right, called strike to Charlie. And that'll be out 3. And the Maroon Devils are done hitting in the first, but a lot of damage done. Score stands Maroon Devils 18, Black Knights nothing. Waiting on the top of 2. We'll be back. All right, Maroon Devils, we are back for the top of 2, and that was a ground ball to short with a put out right there. 1 pitch, 1 out. And that's the way you work with efficiency. Brings up Mr. Knight, number 7. And a ball taken outside. And we had some defensive substitutions, and when they come up in the batting order here shortly, I'll report those. Not going to get anything up, Charlie. Bring it down. Runs count 2 balls and no strikes. Whew. Whew. Well, they sure did blow a call over here on the other field, but, what am I supposed to know about it? Steve Ruck. All right. Runs the count to 3 balls and a strike. But now they've foul ball straight back. 3-2. No pitch called. I guess he was asking for time. Not sure what the situation was on that. Still full count. Charlie bared down and shoved it through there for a strikeout. And Mr. Knight goes down swinging. Four out two. Brings up Mr. Garrison, who was the starting pitcher on the day, but I'm not real sure where he's playing presently. And he's hacking with the first pitch. I'll say this: the Black Knights have been very aggressive in the batter's box today, and they're swinging and they're putting their, they're getting contact on Charlie and doing a few odds and ends and making, they're playing hard. They're putting the bat on the ball and they're giving it a good effort. All right, now we're going to have us a bit of a discussion about what, signaling or whatnot. Coach is going to come out and defend his kid who's just getting the ball back and trying to get up there and pitch in some kind of a rhythm and not wanting to get slowed down, and I get it. So we're sitting at 0-2, 2 outs, 18-0, top of 2. Charlie's trying to shove it, and I don't blame him, but that's a good job on Coach's part coming out there and taking his part for his pitcher so he doesn't have to. And fouled straight back. Whew, curveball. Taken. Little up in his estimation. Another foul ball. Counts 1 ball and 2 strikes for Mr. Garrison. And ball got through, swung on. Carter Hayes got back there and turned the old spit gun loose, the old spit wad shooter loose, and threw him out at first. So the Maroon Devils get out unhurt right there, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. To the bottom of 2, and Ronnie Griggs is coming up to. Nope, we have had a substitution. This is a left-hander. I'm assuming this is probably Braden Ruiz, who has done some DH work for us through the course of this year so far. We're gonna see what happens right here. Can't see his number. I didn't notice when he walked up, but I'm assuming I think it's number 1, Braden Ruiz. And we got a ground ball to the right-hand side. Nope, that was not him. I told you a big fat lie. That was the number 18, subbed in to roll over to the first baseman for a 3 unassisted put out for out 1. It's going to bring up Reese Winchester, who was 2 for 2 last inning. Ball taken low. And a ball inside. 2 balls and no strikes for the on the Maroon Devils, Reese Winchester. Ball fouled straight back off the top of the building. And we're at 2 balls and a strike. Runs counts 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a cap shot toward the second baseman. He's off and running, and we're not going to beat it. Going to be a 4-3 put out. And that will bring up Mr. Lawson Woodard, who was 2 for 2 last inning. And trying to make sure the Maroon Devils don't go quiet in this, the bottom of 2. Ball fouled straight back. Watch your head. And a little looper toward first base, little L3 to put it out. So the Devils go quiet in this half. Go 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of 2. And so the Devils will end this inning, but coming up at the top of the order next time, and we'll start off top of 3 in just a few minutes. All right, the Maroon Devils, top of 3, brings up the number 9 hitter for the Knights, Adams. Called strike for the new pitcher of record, which is Mr. Gabe Lillard. Looks like we did a position change, pitcher to first base and first base to pitcher. Ball taken low. Runs count to 1 ball and 1 strike. Ground ball back up the middle. Gabe stabs it, throws him out at first. Very efficient. For a 1-3 put out for 1 out. And the top of the 3rd. Brings up, let's see if it's still heading. It is not heading. This is number 6, and it looks like 6. That's 6 or 8. All right, it looks like 6 to me too. We'll go with that, and I don't have the lineup card out again. This wind, I've stuck it in my pocket. So I apologize for not naming the subs. That'll be a ball. Run the count 2 balls and no strikes. 1 out. Call strike. 2 balls and a strike. Dead ball, hit batsman. Hit by pitch. Gets him on right there. So we got a runner on first, 1 out. And let's see if this is still Phillips. Yes, still Phillips, who started off the game center field, and I'm unsure of where he is now. Takes call strike 1. Gabe's doing the right thing here. Nothing fancy. We're going to pump the strike zone full. We're going to let you hit it. We're going to let you hit the straight stuff and see what happens. And that's a good pop move over there by Carter. This is a chance to work on some of that stuff. It's got a chance at being 2. There's one of them, and we're not going to get him at first. The kid runs well, and he's going to second. It may be a mistake. We'll see. No, he's going to eat it. All right. Didn't want no T-ball home runs, but the outfielders were moving. Everybody was headed to where they were supposed to be to back up. And so that was a fielder's choice. And that was out 2. And he moved up on the throw, and that'll bring up number 10, who fouls the ball straight back, Mr. Buchanan, who started off the game on first base. And it's a foul ball. It's too big. Carter's not going to be able to get to it. Bounce around over there. So 2 outs. Maroon Devils up 18-0. Top 3. Curveball taken. Ground ball that goes through, and they're going to wave him through trying to score, and it's, well, if he'd have went, it'd have been close. That was a way to get the ball in right there. It's a good job getting the ball in. So we had a single by Mr. Buchanan. Still no score. We got runners on first and third and 2 outs. And this is not the man that started the inning or the game. This looks like number 14. That's the way to pump it. Just pump it in there. Foul ball called. Fought off an inside pitch. It was close. It was close. I'm glad it skipped outside. That would have been extra bases, I assume. But now we're at a 0-2 count, and we'll see if we can get him turned around right here and get out of this inning with nobody hurt. Strike 3. What does that mean? All right. That was bizarre. First base is occupied. All right. So we're going to go to, that was a strikeout to end the inning. And the Maroon Devils will be up in the bottom of the third in just a minute. All right. Guys are shaking hands. They must have a new rule in place since I coached. Used to it's 5 no matter what, and apparently it's 15 after 3. And if that's the case, we're all done right here. And the Maroon Devils have walked out of here with a 18-0 win. And we take out the Black Knights sweep this week. 2 5-inning or less games, and that's a good week. So the Maroon Devils did a great job today going ahead and putting them away, and we'll have a JV game coming up that we won't be broadcasting, I'm assuming, and we appreciate y'all joining us. Have a good weekend.